bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so homeless you bitch, I don't need your love. Killers run away, what you think I love this brotherhood? Hood. What do you bitch? Shop on shit I'm body. You think can't you shot it from? Fucking it all wall. It ain't up clips in your arm. All of this wanna take my piece. All they all wanna take my piece. All they wanna take my piece. Now I can't let a dog take it from me. I can't let a dog take it from me. You a whole sonny. It's really how this bitch walk around like they don't know nothing. In a lane, nigga fall forward and get set up for the corner and get gunned down, man down. Should've took the time to get there, no. But I see the shot and I show her. She can never get a piece home. Get a dirty ass, roast that neck, bitch with a fake ass tripping. In Tennessee while I'm touring. In the Tennessee, what you looking? In a sucker duck, bitch ass boy, fuck nigga over that big mother. I just say, get that nigga on wall, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick. Loaded for your face. Line up, that nigga named the sale. What you think, boy, you be done to try and suck on shit, we got it. You be case, you shot it. The bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing. Bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers run away. What you think I love this brotherhood? Hood. What you bitch? You a lame nigga than me. He can't even put on some free. You a little nigga than me. Face up while I feel a beat. Yeah, AR 2 3. Draco. I shoot your hand in a spoon, while I put your ass in a tip. With your vein, by the tip. Tell you for you a bitch. He is calling off like a liquor. Nigga walk down my road. Nigga come down my road. Boy, come down my road. Boy, I tell her ass OP. I'm a real big beast, nigga. You can't play for keys, nigga. Come in and tune to get a damn water, but ain't nothing beat that key. I throw your ass like a cat. Always balls full of tech. Boy, like a close combat. They got popped out for a neck. That nigga on wall, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick. Got him loaded for your face. Line up, that nigga named the sale. What you think, but you be done to try and suck on shit, we got it. You be case, you shot it. The bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers run away. What you think I love this brotherhood? What you bitch?
All right. All right, Shalom Israel. This is the Isupk, come out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, on the Commanding General Your Honor. I'm officer of 1,000 Law Gun, coming you here today with our weekly law class here. We're talking about today, we're talking about the mind of a slave, right? And it's very, very important to understand the mind of a slave. And the reason is very important is because we have to understand we still, as a whole, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have that mind of a slave. And I'm going to show you that today, right? Right? So what we think, we celebrating Juneteenth right now, right? We feel like we are free. But a lot of our actions we don't realize is calculated by our oppressors. That's the very reason we tell our people that they are oppressed, that they are lost. And they've done such a trick bag on us that we really feel like we have some kind of control or freedom of what we're doing right now. When it's all programmed, calculated, right? Same way pressure busts pipes. Pressure will make you lose your soul, your spirit, your heritage, and everything that came along with it, right? Now, if you're looking around, today is Juneteenth. I've already heard about a certain amount of murders, fights, disputings going on in this week. If this is our so-called freedom, why are our people still angry? Why are we not doing what you would call a ceasefire on weeks like this? Why has nobody called that? Because our people are out of control. And we're taking this thing called liberty, which America has put on us, that you think since we're free, we're okay. A lot of us need to understand that that liberty that you were given has given you destruction because you have no guidance. You have no guidance with that liberty, right? If you don't have any guidance with that liberty, then you're going to lead to destruction, which is where our people is at right now. Make no mistake about it, why it's Juneteenth, Pride Month, and Father's Day all in the same thing. It's all crammed into one big month, right? There's no mistake behind any of that. Shalom, how about Shalom Shepherd? See you, Marah. All right. Let's get some scriptures back this up. Because, of course, we're not going to just talk your head off and not give you anything to back up what it is that we're saying. Okay? And as always, you got any questions about what we're saying, please tap in. Right? Let's get the first one here. The first one I want to pull here is we're going to pull Jeremiah 2:9 first, right? Because it all leads back to the scriptures, right? Because you got to understand, our people came out of slavery, got a little freedom, went back into slavery, went some kind of oppression, some kind of massacre, some kind of unaliving situation due to our oppressor. The same people every time. And we always go back to them, and it's out of fear now, right? Your oppression is really more out of fear, that you're afraid to step out from under the wing of your so-called the oppressor. All right, let's get this first one. Jeremiah 2:9. All right. Wherefore yet plead with you, saith the Lord, and with your children's children will I plead. The Most High has been pleading with us for generations. You understand? We came out of Egypt. That was supposed to be our last slavery. That was supposed to be the last time any nation was over us. But what did we do when we got out of that wilderness? What did we do when we got the opportunity to be free? And we had a little time, but we didn't have everything that we wanted. We wanted to go back into that slavery. All right? They were free from that bondage of being beat by Pharaoh, drugged by Pharaoh, oppressed by Pharaoh, even when Moses came and showed us miracles. We had a little time in the wilderness where we were free and could do what we wanted to do, but we had to struggle just a little bit together. We turned on each other. They turned on Moses, right? These are free people, right? But they still had the mind of a slave. They still had the mind of a slave. Because you can be in slavery for so long, when you get an opportunity to be free, to get the opportunity to step out from what you're doing, it's going to be a little uncomfortable sometimes. It's a price that comes with freedom. You can't just live a comfortable life as a slave, and then when you get free, you're going to feel like you're getting deprived of something because your master knows just how to keep you just enough comfortable. That's what the Juneteenth bill was all about. Joe Biden knew he needed to give black people just a little one day. That's what he knew. But also Joe Biden also oppressed our other brothers and sisters, the so-called Mexicans. Joe Biden also oppressed our brothers and sisters that's still in prison behind his 3 strikes rule. And now Joe Biden is going to oppress our young men, our 18 to 26-year-old young black and Hispanic men, and put them in his military, whether they want to or not. So the scriptures tell you a gift destroyeth the heart. So the Most High has been pleading with us for a very, very long time. And it always takes some major act from your oppressor, like a brother has to die, or they got to do something blatant where they spit in your face, basically. Then you get mad. When we're telling you should stay mad because we're not free, right? Let's get some more of that. Verse 10. This is when Jeremiah 2:10. All right. For pass over the isles of Chittim and see and send unto Kedar and consider diligently and see there be such a thing. Verse 11. Have the nation changed their gods, which are yet not gods? Every time he brought us out of slavery, we found other gods. We go a little time without our God, without him just standing over us, giving us, the shepherd not being right with us. That's what happened with Moses. Moses went up to the mount to get the commandments. He went up to the mount with the Most High God to get our commandments for 40 days. Just 40 days. That's a month and 10 days. And the man that brought you out, he did all these miracles. He said, we need order. Let me get this from God. I will be back. He did this for a short time. Guess what we did? That's why you hear people saying Yahweh and all this crap now. That's where that came from. They made a golden calf, called him Yahweh, and started worshiping him. Because the one thing we had in that wilderness, Egypt gave us all of their gold, their jewelry. That's all we had. But we had nowhere to go spend it. We knew we had value, but we had nowhere to go spend it. So when Moses was gone, they took all that gold, put it in and burned it, and made a golden calf and worship that. We always have to have something directly in front of us carnally to just make us feel good, right? All the time. We've never really had the actual faith of the Most High God. The men that have that have been able to show great power through the Most High God. They've been able to do miracles through the Most High God. But our people as a whole, we've never done that, man. We've always needed a physical overseeing God to praise. Our God now is what? Our God is money. Our God is fame. Also a social media follower, things of that nature. That's what has destroyed our people, right? So we say our people have made a God that is no God, right? But my people have changed their glory for that which does not profit. Your glory is not in getting an award from your oppressor. Our glory is not in just in getting degrees. Getting degrees are good. That's not what we can glory in. Because we take that glory from a degree and automatically think you're better than your brother. You think you're better than your sister. When you go get your school degrees, you guess what? You got to go apply for a job and you're still black. You're still Hispanic. You're still Native American. You can't get around that. We have to get our brotherhood and sisterhood together. All right? But my people have changed their glory from that which doth not profit. Verse 12. Be astonished, O ye heavens, at this, and be horribly afraid. Be very desolate, saith the Lord. Right? When you choosing other gods, you should definitely be afraid. You should always be afraid. You're not going to have a confidence because your God is going to fail you every other day. But one thing about our people is once we pick those gods, we're very, very loyal to them. We're very, very loyal to those gods. You pick a black man, like look at Malcolm X. When Malcolm X found the Arab God, the Muslims, he was very, very loyal to a time till that God didn't benefit him. Right? Till he started noticing that that God didn't quite benefit black people the way he thought. Right? But when he had his head strong and he was very forceful in it, he made it famous. Same with Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, every kind of God our people have chosen. Now our people walk around with these ankhs on their chest now, not knowing that's another God. That's representing a transgender God. That's what you don't know. You know, if you say you're against Pride Month and you walk around with the ankh on your chest, you're representing Pride Month because it represents the male and female organ joint. And I'm not talking about sexual. I'm talking about what you would call a hermaphrodite. Do your research on this. All right. Let's keep going. All right. For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living water. These scriptures are our fountains of living water. That's your fountain of living water because guess what? You can stand on this anywhere. At your job, on the street corner, online, wherever you go. People are going to have to respect the truth. That's why our Captain Azariak is able to go in these different arenas, right? And do stuff he do, just like other brothers are able to go in different arenas. Captain Azariak just did this in Buffalo. You're able to go around people that may not believe what you believe, but you're free because you have the truth. If a lot of our people are being honest, a lot of our people are out here guessing. They're guessing on what to do, what not to do, right? And they call it living your life. You say, I'm just living, man. But what's good just saying you just living if you're getting up every day just guessing where you gonna go, what you gonna do. Some of us don't get up that day. You don't even know if you're gonna smoke or not that day. So is the God you serve really benefiting you, or are you a slave to your oppressor's God? Because whatever you get up every day and you're trying to please, that's your God. Some of you, your God is your woman. Some of your God is your job. Some of your God is your children. Some of your God is something on social media or image you want to keep out there. Whatever you get up in the morning and you feel like that's what you want to do, that's what you're serving. But the number one thing we're always serving is sin. That's what our people don't realize. We are slaves to this sin. It's been manufactured in a way where you think you're just going about your day very regularly, but you actually have become a servant to this sin. All right? My people have committed two evils. They have forsaken the fountain of living waters and hewed them out cisterns. You know what a cistern is? A cistern is a pot. Like this would be a cistern right here, right? Something bigger though. It's cracked, right? Broken cisterns that can hold no water. This is what happens when you choose a God that does not serve you and your people. It's like a cistern, right? That's cracked and cannot. If I pour water in, it's cracked. Guess what's gonna happen? Water gonna flow out of it. You're gonna be empty. You can't get across the street with it, and you're thirsty. That's what happens. If you get you something that's solid, a good foundation that you can stand on, you can be free of this hellhole you're in. You're gonna tell me you don't feel like you have to go celebrate these holidays, that you have to go and do something. Some of our people, what's some stuff they got? Some of our people feel like on New Year's you gotta be in church. Some of our people, Christmas you gotta put your gifts on the tree. Easter you gotta go put a suit on and go listen to a pastor. And you think that's gonna affect the rest of your year? So you've been doing this for how many long years? Has it ever really affected your year? Has it ever really made your year any better? Is what I mean. You got to really ask yourself this stuff, man. We got to come out of this mentality. All right? We got to understand that. All right? It's verse 14. Is Israel a servant? Right? Is he a homeborn slave? That's what we had to ask ourselves in the book of Jeremiah. Are we homeborn servants? Are we slaves? Are we people that can never really rise up the way we're supposed to? Because we think right now, we got people out right now celebrating Juneteenth. They took off work today, tomorrow, and you think you are really doing something for black people. When the truth of the matter is, it's people right now that's your brothers and sisters. They're not free. They're not physically even free. A day like this should be talked about. If you're really talking about freedom, right? You should be talking about the men that's in prison that's wrongfully accused. We're talking about freedom, right? Why just because one or two of y'all feel like everything is good for you, everybody else got to feel like it's good for them too? What about the rest of the people? Especially if you're a so-called African American, right? We got to understand this. The tribalism has to stop. Because what about the Mexicans on the border? What about the Native Indians that's on the reservation right now who were over here first? They're stuck on that reservation. That's all they have. All the rape and murder going on with that people don't talk about. This is the time to gather ourselves together as a nation. But we cannot do that because our oppressor did what? He divided and he conquered us. So he put whatever your vice is over here, you stay over here. You a slave to that. Whatever your vice is over here, you stay over here. You a slave to that. Most of it is surrounded around drugs, money, women, whatever kind of lust you think that you got. that's on you. Right? All right, let's get the next one here. You got any questions? Let me know here. All right. Let me get let's get Galatians chapter 4. Right? Galatians chapter 4. Because we got to understand what happened to us when we came out of this bondage, how our mindset is when it comes out this bondage. Right? If you can't get up and serve your God, right? Somebody can tell you no. You're not free. Or you know it's more, you feel like it's more beneficial to go and serve another God and not worry about it. That's the biggest problem with our people right now. They're not worried about their God because they're too busy benefiting from somebody else's God. It benefits you to go to your boss's birthday party. It benefits you to go celebrate the holidays and stuff like that. It's beneficial. A lot of people use that as times to close deals, get closer to someone, all that stuff. You get that stuff up, you feel like you have nothing left. And that's the feeling we have to go through in terms of our salvation. You have to be willing to go through that time where, damn, I would like to go be with my family on these days and go see them because I ain't seen them all year. That's a sacrifice for your freedom. Your freedom in this truth, man. Your freedom to serve your God and receive the full protection of Him. Because if you choosing it to go and see and be around your family on those particular days, your family is your God. And we all know what happens when you depend too much on your family, right? They can't all, it's not even their fault. They're not meant to always have to be there for you. It's going to be a dispute. There's going to be something going on, especially if they're not in the truth. That's what's going on with a lot of people that say they're Israelites or they know the culture of the Israelites. And then you could turn right around and you go to these holidays. You go and put too much into Juneteenth. You go put too much into Father's Day, Mother's Day, your birthday, because it benefited you to do that. All right? That's what we got to stop doing. All right? Let's get that Galatians 4. All right? Galatians 4. Even so we, when we were children, were in bondage under the elements of the world. Right? So coming to the place that we're in right now, let's just deal with America right now. It goes on all over the world. Let's just deal with America right now. Right? Everybody. We got children that's born in truth now. But most everybody that's in the truth, they were born celebrating Christmas, your birthdays, lying, stealing, smoking, lusting after things you shouldn't be lusting after. You were born into that, and you did not know any better. And when we go out in the corners and we speak to our people, we know our people, some of them are just now really hearing about Israelites. We understand that. But the word is out. You want to take your time now and really focus on seeing what is this Israelite culture really about? How can it really benefit my life? Because we know it's not benefiting your life. We know that's why you got to get high. That's why you're never really happy. You look at the people that you think are happy, and you're artificially making yourself happy. But you're really tired of what's going on. You're really tired of it. It's a robotic thing that some of you want to hurt yourself. You better off. Some of you think you're better off dead sometimes. When that is actually a weak mindset. When you're supposed to want to fight for the new world. When you understand the world that's to come going to benefit your great-great-grandchildren and lock your place in this kingdom, you're not worried about what you see in front of you all the time. That's the trick bag. Right? Let's get some more on that. So when you was a child, you were a bondage under the elements of the world. So the Most High knows when I grew up all my life, if somebody told you it's okay to smoke weed, or told you it's okay to sleep with more than one man, or told you it's okay to go buy a prostitute, or sleep with different whores, or sleep with different women, good women, and just leave them whenever you're tired. Yeah, we were taught that stuff. Because guess what? And I'm gonna hold that and show you why. Give me 1 second here. I'm gonna hold that and I'm gonna show you why. Give me a second. Get Judges. Salaki. Give me 1 second here. Y'all got any questions? Type it in the chat. Give me Judges 3 and Judges 3 and 7. Slovakia. All right, give me Judges. I'm gonna start at Judges 3 and 1 right here. All right. Now these are nations which the Lord left to prove Israel, right? To prove Israel by them, even by as many as Israel had not known all the wars of Canaan, only that the generations of the children of Israel might know, to teach them war. At the least, such as before knew nothing thereof. Now, what's that mean? That means that there was always a gap in our generations where people before you knew who we were, and because of that older generation, always getting caught up in other idols, following other people, right? You know, when we came over in 70 AD into Africa, we stayed there for 1,500 years. That's why by the time we were able to get put on them boats, we came over here, we thought we was Africans. Some of us thought we were Africans. Every time we had a solid foundation on the Lord, our older generation sold us out. That's why this is happening over and over and over again. So when I hear people blaming the younger generation about why they're shooting up stuff, about why they're hurting people, you need to blame the older generation first, because they had more time to go and figure out what's in this Bible. They're going to church. They're doing this. Why isn't it working? Am I following what this word says to the T? In every generation, there were always a select few of men and women who follow what the word said. Always. Not many times where everybody was it was just a whole bunch of us following Pacific. It was always wickedness there. And that wickedness came from what? Wanting to be like the other nations. That's why you're so happy about Juneteenth. You feel like you're right up there with your oppressor. You feel like I am so free. When no great thing was done on Juneteenth, understand it wasn't that great. You know why it wasn't that great? Because they found slaves in Mississippi in 1970. See, the biggest problem we got with coming into this truth in this Bible is we worry about ourselves way too much. We worry about ourselves way too much, man. Because if a brother was free, you just want to make sure your brothers and sisters are free. The ones who got free should have made somebody in Mississippi left them folks in there, which is a wicked thing. Them people were left. Look it up. Slaves found in Mississippi in 1970. Somebody should have went and got their people. So Juneteenth lose relevancy. Yeah, they signed a bill, but you didn't get free on that day. You know that. It's stories that come out now. They didn't come tell the slaves that. They finessed them out of land. They supposedly gave them their 40 acres of mule, and they started sending the lynch mob back in there to take it. It's right there in front of us all the time, but we don't like talking about that. We want to be happy. That's all we care about, right? That's the reason. The Most High has always left other nations around us to prove ourselves to him. We always fail. And the next generation is not going to know nothing about the truth. That's why it's 2024 and so many people are just not finding out about what this Israelite culture is and why them men so angry, why they doing this and why they doing that, why they against the Christian church, why they against Muslim, why they against everything outside of this Bible, right? Because now when we talk to you about this Bible, we're telling you your mindset, you've been given so much liberty, right? Remember that word, liberty. You've been given so much of it that you think we're trying to put you in a box. Your mindset is, oh, they just want to put God in a box. They want to put this and that. You damn right. All the murdering and raping and loss you taking in your life, you should want to fit in this box. You should want to squeeze your mental state into this box. Because that's going to be your protection. You should want to be in the Lord's box. Because you've been outside the box since 70 AD. And ever since then, we haven't been able to quite get it right. We've always found a way to make economics. Look at Tulsa, Oklahoma. That was no time. 40 years after slavery, right? That was no time. We got the civil rights movement. We got a little happiness. All that worked against us. Them civil rights really went for the Asians. That civil rights went for the LGBT community. They're comparing their rights to yours now. Affirmative action is gone, but you know why it's gone? Because the oppressor was using it to get their kids in college. They found a way, rich oppressors that didn't want to pay for college found a way to get their children into them colleges. Everything that we've been given to us on paper, they find a way around this. Or they come just burn it down and take it. That's the kind of monster you want to serve. Right? All right. So let's let's understand. I'm gonna go back to that Galatians. Give me 1 second here. All right, we get Galatians 4 and 5, all right? 4 and 4. All right. I'm gonna start from the top for some of y'all just coming in. Even so, when we were children, we're in bondage under the elements of the world. But when the fullness of the time was come, God sent forth his son, made of a woman, right? Right? He was made of a woman. He came out of his mother's womb through his father's seed, right? Made under the law. I mean, he came just like us to follow the law of God, to redeem them that were under the law, that we might receive the adoption of sons. Because there was times, guess what? Every time we went back into slavery, God had to turn on us. God had to turn on us. That's why we went into slavery. If you don't think it was something spiritual behind this transatlantic slave trade, or some spiritual behind the native Indians being tricked out of their land, if you in the truth of God, you can't be tricked. You cannot be fooled. You would have known not to be trusting an African, trusting a so-called white man. You think it wasn't all force. It was a level of trust. Right? Understand there was way more to it than them just coming up and scaring us on a boat. All right? And because we are sons, Salakia, and because ye are sons of God, have sent forth the spirit of his sons in your heart. You get that spirit of Most High God, right? Because of what Christ did. Because he sacrificed his whole life. He went his whole life following the laws of God. See, your freedom don't come back to you following one simple thing, following the laws of God. You have the right to follow God's. You have that right. That freedom is right there for you. Do you have the right to really do what you want to do in America? Not really. Not really. If not, if you want to succeed. Ask all these entertainers why they got to go put these dresses on. Right? Ask them why their mind has been warped into saying, okay, I don't care if my son or daughter is in the LGBT. That stuff gives you more access to things, man. You gonna tell me all these entertainers are cool with that lifestyle? Nah, but they don't speak on it. Comedians can't even talk about it no more. You're not free, but they are free. They can call you a nigga on camera. They can freely say it on their airwaves. You say something about that so-called pale-faced Jewish bastard, you're gonna lose your job. You're gonna lose everything you're working for. All right, and you understand that. All right. And because ye are sons of God, God has sent forth the spirit of his sons into your hearts. All right, crying, Abba, Father. Verse 7, wherefore thou art no more a servant, but a son. Right? You were a servant. Servant to your lust, servant to your demons. Wherefore thou art no more a servant, but a son, and if a son, then an heir to the God through Christ. Howbeit then, when ye knew not God, ye did serve unto them by which nature are no gods. What that mean? I'm going to read it again. All right. Howbeit then, when ye knew not God, ye did service unto them which by nature are no gods. That means you naturally get up and want to please your boss every day. No matter what he tell you to do, you want to keep your job. You get that woman that you love, you naturally want to get up and please her every day. Man you love, you want to please them every day. Child, whatever it is you always wanted, you get up and naturally please it every day. Some of y'all get up and you have to post something on social media. Some of y'all got to get up and smoke a blunt every day because somehow you think you're getting your knowledge from that. It's something you get up and you have to do every day. You're servicing that every day. You're a servant to it. So how be it that you can be into something like that will fail you every time? When you find out you've been lied to about the one book, the knowledge that is going to save your family, the knowledge that you know is taken from you by the very people that run the earth, why don't you want to get that? They putting it right in your face, Jewish. Right? This war going on. That's the Lord crumbling their foundation. All you have to do is claim it now. All you have to do is be willing to put these dollar dolls on, right? Put on your fringes, put down these holidays, stand up for the Passover, feast of first fruits, feast of unleavened bread. And we can do the exact same thing y'all out doing right now, getting together, you know what I'm saying, speaking some Hebrew, enjoying each other. You talk about whatever you can talk, and then once the service is over, we kick it. Do the exact same thing our people are doing now. And it's the Bible that can be proven to be a black man's book. The only freedom is going to come through this knowledge of the Bible. The only freedom. All right? I'm on verse, howbeit, verse 9. But now after that, ye have known God, or rather of known of God, how turn you again to the weak and the beggarly elements? Right? How did you hear about the fact that our culture was stolen from us? Right? Every culture that our people have tried to go and follow, it's been some kind of scam behind it. You can find scams in the Muslim area. You saw what happened with Malcolm X. You saw what's going on with Farrakhan. You see how broke up that is, right? You see what's going on with the Christian church. We know that's been done. Why haven't we ripped the guts out of it yet and left it? When I mean rip the guts out of it, leave it. Physically leave. Don't participate. Don't go. don't deal with. Why haven't we done that? It's a pastor out right now. His name Fred Price Jr. And I hope he in the right spirit when he's doing this. He stood up in front of his congregation and he said, these Israelites are all right. Now, until he proves me otherwise, that was a righteous brother right there. I'm saying that because just like the celebrities come out and say it, someone always twists their mind, right? They always get twisted because what he should do at this point, if he know he's been teaching the people wrong, he admitted that. He admitted that he at first didn't believe it. If he's a righteous man, what he's going to do is turn the keys over to Command General Yohana. He's going to find the nearest Isupk school because he should know the very first school made in 1969, which is the Isupk. That's who deserves this. Because I guarantee his father was a pastor, his great-grandfather was a pastor. When you know the Israelites are right, turn the people over to the Israelites. Turn your money over to the Israelites. Don't find out the truth and then turn right around and say, oh, I know y'all been telling the truth, but I'm going to hold on to this. Nah, you need to get in all black, clean your spirit. Make sure you are ready to lead these people now that you find the truth. But a lot of people don't do that because they're a slave to the kingdom they have built. You don't want to give up your little kingdom or your seat and then come back around and say, hey, these guys are right. I'm going to follow them. I'm going to put it in all black. And then guess what? The Lord's going to bless you with more people to follow. You may be able to keep your people, right? But you need to come and get taught how to actually live this and go through a struggle. Go without. Give up everything you own, like Christ said to the rich man. And then you see if you really want to live this life. If not, step down, man. Step down and give it up. Stop destroying our people. Free them. For real. That's the only way they're going to get that freedom. All right? Return back into the beggarly elements, whereunto you desire again to be in bondage. Because there's going to come a time again when you're going to be freed again out of this hellhole called America. But there's also going to be a time when you go without your money. You go without your resources. You're going to go without some food, maybe some water. It's something you got to go without. That's why you got to understand what the Day of Atonement is about. It's coming up again this year. A day when you cannot eat or drink anything sundown to sundown. That's a representation of what we may have to go through. You have to be willing to go out without anything that you have. Then you can say you're free. If you can't go a day without something, or one day, don't tell me you're free. Don't tell me that you're able to sit up and say, I can do all things through Christ. And you can't go a day without whatever it is you have to have every day. A cup of coffee, whatever. That's what the Day of Atonement is all about. Right? Where's your faith at? Ye observe days and months and times and years. You observing a day today, talking about Juneteenth. It's not a sin to celebrate Juneteenth. But like Commander Yohana, what? He just went out to a Juneteenth event in Buffalo. I honestly was expecting a good report. He told me our people was doing? He said our people was out there fighting each other. Christian church out there playing their music with the band, this, that. He said every other corner, every other side was young men fighting, warring, damn near rioting. And I'm sure it's like that other places. If we was really happy about our freedom right now, should not a soul been killed. Right here in Birmingham alone, a little girl got killed last night. You are losing our youth because you're pulling them into the same darkness that we was brought into. Show them the light. Don't acknowledge the gift that your oppressor gave you. Because we got to understand we are really not free. All right? I am afraid of you, lest I have bestowed upon you labor in vain. This is the Most High, man. Understand that. Bestowing labor upon you, that's in vain. That's what it's gonna feel like he's doing. Okay. Let's get John chapter 8. All right. You got any question, type in the chat. All right. Then said Christ to those Jews which believed on him, if ye continue in my word, then ye are my disciples. Right? A lot of you people, this Christians that say they follow Christ, do you continue in his word? Do you continue in his word? Right? Because his word says, I came not to destroy the law, but to fulfill it. Fulfill means show you how to do it. It don't mean when I die, it's over with. It means I left a legacy for you to follow forever. Right? And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Right? What's the truth? The truth, like I told you, we're not really free. We're not free until Yahweh, which you call Jesus Christ, crack that sky. Now we believe every other conspiracy on earth. Why don't you believe that there's a outer being that's waiting on us to grow up and stop going for every little doctrine somebody put in front of us that benefits you? Why can't our people believe that? We believe everything else, right? You believe in the zodiac signs and all that. Some of y'all walk around believing in voodoo, but you telling me that you don't believe that a spirit, that a man can come out the sky and save you? And when I mean save you, destroy what's oppressing you, because we can't do it on our own. There's no way in hell we're gonna get out this hell without this place being destroyed by a higher being. He's waiting on us to do what he asks first, which is follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's what makes you free. We are free from being in the bondage of holidays. That's bondage. You look at your bondage from October, Halloween, all the way up until Valentine's Day, right? Just look at that short period of time. You're in bondage. Some of y'all can't afford it, but you feel like you still have to go and do it. That's bondage. You're robbing, stealing, getting into it with your friend about a couple $100 when he's just as broke as you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's bondage, man. It's oppression. Fall out with people about it. That's major oppression. Okay? All right? So that's the only thing gonna make you free. Knowing the truth that blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans are God's chosen people. They answer him, we be Abraham's seeds and we were never in bondage. Now that sounds like something we'll say today. Black people all the time will say, well, I wasn't a slave, so I can't be mad at the so-called white man. I can't be mad at the African. They don't do nothing to me. You're selfish, for one thing. If that comes out your mouth, you are very, very selfish. Right? And then you're stupid. I got to tell you that. You're very unwise. Okay? Because if you don't understand that the 400 years of money they piled up, that when they had to put us back in the labor force, that there's bank accounts on top of bank accounts that their grandfathers put into that they benefit from. I don't care if they down to the last night. Everybody hurting right now, right? Even the big dogs hurt. So let's just say that's what's been going on. The law are faking everybody's money right now, some kind of way. Right? That's why all these department stores can barely afford to pay for security. All that's going on right now. Right? The money war has been started while the nations are pulling out. But if anybody's saying that you're black, I wasn't in slavery, you're a fool. Or you just don't care. You don't care about what your ancestors went through. You don't care. They never really got their just due for that. And the scriptures say, he that go into captivity, he that puts you in captivity shall go into captivity. That's thus saith the Lord. So we don't get our justice until the nation that put us in captivity, all of them go into captivity. And we show them how to be righteous masters. That's the only time we're going to get our justice. We're not going to do that on our own. All right? You got a righteous that want that day to come. But I'm saying that we will go through losses. Right? What else we got? Let's get, say we Abraham's seeds. All right? We be Abraham's seeds, and we never were in bondage to any man. Understand this. In the so-called New Testament, these are black free people that were able to feel like they were able to roam around and do whatever they want to do. So they were like, we weren't in bondage to nobody. These are the ones that are free. These are the ones who feel like that they were free. Let's see what Christ said, right? It said, how can we be made free if we never been in bondage? Verse 34, Christ said, verily, verily, I say unto you, whosoever committeth a sin is a servant of sin. Right? Celebrating Easter was a sin. Celebrating New Year's and Christmas and all it was a sin. Lying to your brother or sister is a sin. Smoking is a sin. Homosexuality, LGBT is a sin. Being okay with that is a sin. Believe it or not. Being an effeminate man is a sin. Let me get you that. Hold on one second. Let's get you that for the LGBT. Let's get you that's 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. I'm gonna get you that, so you don't want to think I'm playing with you, right? Because it's feminine to not speak against the LGBT. It's a very feminine of you to say, "Oh, it's their life. It's okay," right? So let's get 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. Know ye not that the unrighteous, what makes you righteous? What makes you righteous? Righteous is following the laws of God. That's the only place, that's the place you're going to hear this word. You don't hear words like righteous anywhere else. You don't hear words like what is a sin anywhere else. It comes from this Bible. So don't give me another definition of what righteous is. Righteous is following God. That's your covering. That's your protection. Get inside that box. Don't worry about being outside the box all the time. You shall not inherit the kingdom, meaning you won't be in the kingdom. You won't get any power in the kingdom. The power you think you got now, you're going to stress, you're going to get high, you're going to hate your brother, you're going to hate your wife, hate your kids. You're never going to enjoy it because you got it. It was ill-gotten. It's hard for a merchant to do right. Right? Be not deceived, neither fornicators. Fornicator is not a man having multiple wives. Fornicator is a man sleeping with another man's woman. Anybody sleeping with an animal, watching porn, this being a sexual deviant. But it's not a man having more than one wife righteously, and righteously meaning he does not leave those women. He does not go pick another man's woman, take her to be his wife. These are women you have sex as marriage. Every woman you have sex with is your wife. Understand and have a conversation with them about that. Live by it. Build a foundation off of that. Don't betray them by going to sleep with whores. That's righteous, according to the Lord. And for all our sisters that hate multiple wives, have you ever been in a righteous relationship where a man told you the truth about him having other women? Or did they always lie to you and say you were the only one, go sleep with whores, bring you an STD back, take your money, leave you, beat you, rape you? Did that happen? Has that been going on all your life? Then let's stop acting like, it's a possibility that all men should be with one woman. Some men need one, some need 10, some don't need none right now. Some should just focus on the work of the Lord. But understand, when you marry a righteous man, that man will never leave you because you're a crazy broad, or you got mental illness, or you have whatever going on with you. As long as you not sleep with another man, he's gonna be there for you. That's married. You find a righteous man who's gonna stick beside you, right? So fornicating is not a man having multiple wives. I want to clear that up. All right. Nor idolaters. Idolaters are you people walking around with these crosses on, these ankhs on. You're a Muslim, you celebrate the Kaaba stone. You know what I'm saying? Or you want to be like a celebrity so bad you have changed your whole dialect. You talk different. You walk different. You act different with your family because you want to be like a certain celebrity that you look up to that has nothing to do with God. He might spring up God every now and then. But truth is, that person is your God because they may have a little money, some property, or something you may want, or they've done something that you don't think you can do without following them. That's why people at now. All right. All right. No adulterers. I just went over that. Adulterers is a man that sleeps with another man's woman that's not single, or a woman that will sleep with another man outside her husband. We mean the man that she's having sex with. All right. That's an adulterer. Nor the effeminate. Now, what is effeminate? Let's Google it. Let's Google it. Effeminate definition, right? Having characteristics and ways and behaving traditionally associated with a woman and regarded as inappropriate for a man, right? Right? So being okay with somebody doing that will make you effeminate. And while we on the subject of the LGBT community, for you men out there that like sleeping with another man's woman, you are effeminate. That's a homosexual spirit to want to do that, to want to take any other man's wife from him. No matter how righteous you think it is, it's unrighteous. You should not want to put your rod to a place another man is doing, right? At the same time. That's crazy. That's what you're doing. You should be disgusted with yourself. Now, like I said before, we grew up in the elements of the world. So plenty of men have done, including myself, not knowing any better. But now I'm telling you here today, if you own that type of time where you want to be with another man's woman, you want her so bad, you don't care what he's done to her, you don't care what she's done with him in the bed, even the same day, and you're willing to do that, you are effeminate. You are a weak man that is not willing to help anybody except his rod. Your rod controls you. Plenty of single sisters out here. These sisters are coming together in relationships now. You tell them you can't break that up, you can break that up all day. Because that ain't helping nobody. I ain't procreating. Break that up. You catch you one that like you, keep her. Fix her. Make her put a dress on. But you ones that look at a brother and you want his woman, that's very feminine. And you will not get into the kingdom. All right? Understand that. All right? Effeminate, no abusers of themselves with mankind. That's a self-explanatory. All right, let's finish this John 8:31. All right. All right. So let's do a servant to that sin. The servant abideth not in the house forever, but the son abideth forever. If the son therefore shall make you free, you shall be free indeed. You're going to be free through Christ. Coming together, separated from other nations of people, being with your people. All right. I know that you are Abraham's seed, but ye seek to kill me, right? Right? They wanted to kill Christ because of the stuff he said. Just like when we go on these street corners, people want to hurt us. They want to harm us because of this truth. We're free enough to go and do that. A lot of people don't want to do what we do because you can lose your family, your friends, your whole way of life will be gone because you're not willing to stand up for this truth. But we're free enough to know we're willing to lose all that. All right. I'm going to drop down to Because that's where your spirit comes from, all right? Verse 41. Ye do the deeds of your father. Then they said to him, we be not born of fornication. We have but one Father. If you think you're serving God. But Christ had something better for them. Christ said unto them, if God were your father, you would love me. You would love to hear this truth. If God was really your father, you would love to hear men of the Lord speaking out against the ways of this world. The same way Christ did, right? Ye are your father, ye are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. Understand that picture they put up, that so-called white Jesus called Caesar Borgia, he was a lustful, murdering bastard. Right now, the black community is being blamed for being lustful, murdering bastards. In that sense, lustful, sex-wise with our men and women. Murderers mean we're killing each other. Bastards meaning we do not have any fathers in the home. We've been accused of that, and that's the spirit of your father, the devil, which is the so-called white man. You in his spirit, but he's benefiting off you being in that spirit. Let's stop letting him profit off us for once in a while. All right. And the lust of your father he will do. He is a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh lies. Understand the reason we went back into slavery every time is because we got lied to. The Native Indians got lied to by the Pilgrims, right? You got lied to when you were told civil rights was going to help us. You got lied to when you told us voting is going to help you. Some of y'all slaved to vote. All right? Which of you convinces me of sin? And if I say the truth, why do you not believe me? He that is of God, hear of God's words. Ye therefore hear them not, because you are not of God. We in these classes, on these street corners, we speaking the word of God, and we can prove it's right. And we can prove it not by just looking in the book, by looking at your life, looking at the life that we came from and the life that we're in and the mental state we're in right now. You come in this body and let this body change you for the better, you will see a change in your life. It's going to go down sweet at first. It's going to get very bitter at times. But you got to be willing to stomach that, or you don't deserve the kingdom. All right? Now, if we got any questions here, type in the chat. If you want to tap in later on, always inbox us. Subscribe to Isupk No Cowards Alabama on YouTube, Isupk Alabama on Facebook, One West Bama on TikTok, and One West Bama on Instagram. All right? Any questions, tap it in. We're going to be at camp this week. Check it out. All right? Men of Israel, Majim.